Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan, and this video is going to be another part of our player comparison series. And this is a really interesting one because we've got two tight ends. I'm going to compare two tight ends that faced off in the Super Bowl, that being George Kittle and Travis Kelce, almost universally seen as the two best tight ends in the NFL. But, at the table there's some disagreement that I anticipate on who's one and who's two, so we'll get into that and more.
All right, well, I'm just going to start over here as I usually do. I'm going to name off some stuff, then we can get to talking. First of all, Ryan mentioned how there might be some different opinions at the table, and he was probably referring to me.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, first of all, they're both such good tight ends. Like Ryan said, it's almost undebatably the first and second best tight end in the National Football League. So props to both of them for being such good tight ends. But I think it is so close. And I think my decision is based off of bias, like a lot of decisions that I make at this table are. And you'll hear that in a second. But first of all,
let's talk about them first.
It's not a name. Their Madden rating. So Madden's not everything. Madden gets a lot of things wrong. Even like Kyler Murray, Ryan disagreed with Kyler Murray's Madden ranking. He hates Kyler Murray. So I just had to throw that out there. But anyways, Madden says that George Kittle is 98. And that Travis Kelce is a 97. So by Madden's rankings, George Kittle is the better than Travis Kelce. Now let's get to some stats on the two of them. Let's start with the guy who's been in the league a bit less. This being I'm talking about George Kittle. This being George Kittle's third year in the league, his rookie year. Not much to talk about. So we'll talk about 2018 first. 2018. You got 88 receptions, 1,377 yards, and 5 touchdowns. And that was under what quarterback? I couldn't name for you. Multiple quarterbacks that year in 2018 for George Kittle. Nobody really even that good. Garoppolo was there for a little bit, but he wasn't even starring under Garoppolo. He was starring under these guys that nobody has ever heard of before.
Nick Mullins.
Nick Mullins is one of them.
Mullins. Not really.
That'd be funny.
So he was thriving under that. Now we go to this year with Garoppolo. The whole season this year they went to the Super Bowl, and his stats actually declined a bit more. He got 85 receptions for only 1,053 yards. So that's 3 less receptions and for less yards, and he got 5 touchdowns again this year. So stats declined actually from last year when he had a starting quarterback playing the whole season, so that's interesting. Now let's move to the other person, that's Travis Kelce. Now Travis Kelce, he's been in the league for a long time, so I'm not going to name off all these stats to you, but he has been doing it very, very well for a very, very long time. And one of the things that really points that out to you is that the past 4 years, Travis Kelce has broke that 1,000 receiving yards record. That is something that is amazing for a tight end to do. A lot of tight ends, maybe they'll have that off year where they get in the 900s or something like that. Now, 4 years in a row, Travis Kelce has gotten into that 1,000 plus yards ranking. So he has done very, very good in that. He is very consistent. He also scores a lot of touchdowns. Actually, this season didn't seem like he scored that many touchdowns, but he got so many yards. And here's the bias part. I'm actually have bias towards both of these guys, but I have more recent bias towards. That's right. I have more recent bias towards Travis Kelce because he was on my fantasy team this year, so I know that he didn't score that many touchdowns, but I remember him getting a lot of yards in games, so that always gave me that 3-point boost in our league. Unfortunately, I didn't get the touchdowns, but I got usually like 8 points out of him every week, so I loved him for that. So just wanted to mention that. I also had George Kittle last year when his stats were better, and it was like the lone good player in my roster because I'm pretty sure I got last place last year, but I got first place this year. If you didn't know that already, I like to throw that out there anytime that I can. So that's everything that I have to say, basically.
If you go back on our channel, he probably says that about 5 times, just bragging about it. I mean, he has bragging rights, but
all right. That's all the stats that I want to say. I still have more stuff that I'm going to say, but I've been talking for too long. Let's open it up to these two guys to my left, to my right. This is my left hand. This is my right. To my right to open up conversation.
Yeah, and thank you for finally doing that after your 5-page essay that you wrote.
I like to read off my stats. It's just what I like to do.
I would just like to advise you viewers from now on, just skip past the video because Jordan's probably going to be talking for the first half of it. So if you want to hear open conversation, move on.
If you want to hear the stats in the background of a lot of things, you listen to me talking. So, He's got the stats over there actually
Yeah.
too, but I looked through
We all
it
do.
before. Ryan doesn't have
But
any
yeah, I
evidence
don't know
of it.
if you
He's just
mentioned.
looking at
I don't know
Texas
if you
players
mentioned
right
this,
on the roster
Jordan.
anymore.
But did you
There
say
you
that
go.
they went
I'll have
against each other?
stats very soon.
The Super Bowl tight ends. Did you tell
Right,
me
so-
about that?
Yeah, I think I
the
said that in
Super
the
Bowl tight
beginning.
ends. And Travis Kelce with 5 Pro Bowls in his longer career. George Kittle with 2 and has 1 All-Pro. Travis Kelce has 2 in his longer career. So these guys are both going to probably be the better tight ends, I should say. Still receivers. But heading into the future, and especially with George Kittle, this is where we get into the debate.
Oh, yeah.
I just think that George Kittle, a lot younger, and he has a lot more time under his belt. I think his career could end up being better than Travis Kelce,
Yeah.
but it will also say the longevity of Travis Kelce to be in the league for a while now and still
putting
be able to put up
1,000
numbers like
yards
that.
4 seasons in
It's
a row
incredible.
when he's getting older.
But I will
He don't
say,
stop.
so I'm giving praise to both of them. But when it comes down to what I'm thinking in 2020, if we have a season, pray to God that we do, I think that George Kittle is going to be the better tight end. I think Madden got it right, and good rankings by them.
Yeah. Yep. So as we continue to argue about the rankings here, just how you mentioned the age factor here, Kittle is 26, Kelsey's 30, and their birthdays are 4 days apart. So yeah.
Wait, well, when is that? Maybe like.
Well, Kittle is October 9th, and then Kelsey's October 5th.
So apparently, if you want to have a tight end that plays in the NFL, try and
Yeah.
have them in October. Sure.
Yeah. So plan accordingly.
There it is. But yeah, Jordan, I'd like to hear why you think Travis Kelce's going to have a
Yeah.
better 2020 year, because that
Yeah.
does interest me.
Well, first of all, as you might have heard on this channel, actually, we talked about it in our last video. We talked about the 49ers, and I talked about Jimmy Garoppolo briefly, not a very long time, but I talked about him briefly, and I said that I don't have too much confidence in him this season, so I think that's going to tarnish. That's a word. Tarnish. That's the word. Tarnish. Tarnish. Like you, Darvish. This is not a baseball channel.
Although, welcome back, baseball.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
when's this going to be posted?
Friday.
Oh yeah.
So, what was I saying even? This
I
is
don't
not
know.
the first time that's
You were on
happened.
one of your.
I got it. Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to tarnish his stats a bit more because I'm not as high on Jimmy Garoppolo. But I just really do like Travis Kelce. I think he's a... Sorry, just saw something in the background that you can't see. But I really
It's
like
okay.
what I saw from him this year. He's also got Pat Mahomes on his team to throw him passes.
Mhm.
So maybe in the future, yes, I do agree that George Kittle in the future is probably going to be the better tight end than Travis Kelce, maybe even next year. But I just love Travis Kelce, and I'd say overall, I think Travis Kelce is the best tight end right now. Don't get me wrong, I love George Kittle. I love what they can do, but they're both just so similar to me. Like,
yeah.
even we read off their stats, they were similar. But also just how they play the game of football. They're both very great blocking tight ends. They're both very big guys who can shed tackles. I mean, you saw George Kittle against the Saints.
Oh,
One of the best plays of the year is shedding tackles to get all the way down there. He's able to win that game in the Super Bowl. Incredible by George Kittle. But Travis Kelce, he can do that too. They both can block. And then we can't talk about this video without talking about the attitudes of these two players.
Yeah.
Dude, you look at George Kittle, and every week almost that you saw on the Instagram, he had some like funny thing that he was saying that week. He's just really a character. And then Travis Kelce, he's also a character. And by the way, let's settle this right now with Travis Kelce and his brother Jason Kelce, who had the better Super Bowl celebration once they won. Was it?
Okay.
You got to fight for your right to party.
Well, wait, was that after the AFC Championship or was that after the Super Bowl? I don't remember.
He did it at both.
He did that,
Oh,
but
I don't
who
know.
had the better celebration at the parade? Was it
Jason's
Jason
was
Kelce and
better
his,
because
like,
it was more original, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do agree
but
with
then I think Travis's was maybe more family friendly. So I don't know. I guess it just depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah, but even they always swear, but
Yeah.
they would definitely
It's fine.
swear.
It's just
So
different.
they both have very great characters. I love these two tight ends a lot. I can see that their stares are continuing to look at me, meaning that I have been talking way too much in this video. But they did ask me why I thought Travis Kelce was better, and it's their fault for thinking that I wouldn't go on for 2 minutes. So
Well, to correct you, Jordan, it was actually 2
Yeah.
minutes and 42 seconds.
2:42.
We had the timer right
Nice.
here on Ryan's phone.
2:42.
yeah.
That's
That's
very typical on this channel, but Jordan did make some good points
I also
in that.
let you talk for a little bit too.
He made some good points,
Ask
but
your question.
to me, what I said about George Kittle just being so much younger, I like what he can do in general more than what Travis Kelce can do because he's been with that Chiefs offense for a while, and Andy Reid's been with him, helping him in that offense very often. And with George Kittle, I mean,
Yeah,
Kyle
Kyle
Shanahan
Shanahan's
has really helped George Kittle this year. But before this year, their receiving core was not very good. And last year, going into there
You
too,
can still
George
make the
Kittle
argument
was a
that the receiving
star.
core is still not that good. You can still make that argument completely. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is gone, Marquise
Thanks for
Goodwin is
proving my
gone.
point.
I mean, Ayuk is there, but still,
Yeah, but once again, I think
you
Travis
can
Kelce
he's there.
is not as worthy
He's
of
there.
carrying a team as George Kittle is. And I just think the future for George Kittle is the brightest of many players in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
And I just want to add in here. I think that you look at these two guys; they're both awesome at their position. They're easily 1 and 2 for me, as that's the opinion of pretty much everyone who watches football. You know, maybe some people think that one of them is 3, but I think that these two are the best.
And
and
who
second
would you
best.
put up there?
I don't.
With
Maybe
Zach
Zach
Ertz?
Ertz. Maybe
Okay.
2 years ago. I could
Madden's
see
trying
that,
to
yeah.
put Gronk as a 95 overall.
That's ridiculous.
No.
Yeah, but you look at these two guys, and you got to remember that they're just in 2 very different types of offenses. Like, you talk about, like, stats. Remember, in San Francisco, they run the ball a lot more.
Yeah, but
and
stats don't care about your feelings.
stats don't care. And stats are important. You have to look at stats. And if they could also, you know, tell you interesting stuff, but they don't tell the whole story.
They don't tell the whole story.
They
at
don't
all.
tell the whole story.
And then you
yes.
could look at the stats and
But
obviously
they're a major part though. Like
Yeah.
there's something
Yeah.
definitely to mention a lot of the time.
For sure, but you have to look at the
Like
big
if somebody
picture.
has like a .5 receiving whatever, like when the ball comes their way, like sometimes half the time they drop the ball, half the time they actually get the ball. That doesn't like pull away or anything, but they actually get the ball. I don't know how ball would pull away. I don't know why I just said that.
I don't know.
yeah, that was weird.
But that stuff is important to us.
It is, but I mean, you look at these guys. What makes Kittle so special is that I think that he's almost like another receiver. Like, he might get paid like a receiver when that time comes for
I
him.
think you should.
Zach
yeah.
Ertz is a 90, by the way.
Oh, wow. It's a
Yeah,
significant drop-off. Is he the third-rated tight end?
I think it's 4.
4.
And Gronk is 95.
Yeah. But I think that Kittle is just like a perfect hybrid. He could be your number 1 receiver, but he can also help block. Kelce, I don't know if he
Kelce is the same in my opinion. They line up Kelce wide a lot of the time. Too.
Kittle is like...
Actually, I think...
Kittle is a
I
better
see-
receiver
I
than
think
Kelce.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
I don't know about
that.
that.
That is a natural fact.
It's not a natural
Okay,
fact.
whatever the stats say is one thing.
I've
but-
watched all these games too. I had these people both on my fantasy team.
Okay.
I've watched them both. Tyler had Kittle on his fantasy team, so I had to watch that too with him because I live in the same household as him. So I know.
By the way,
a lot
I'm not
about
biased
this
based
stuff.
on my fantasy
They're
team.
both
I actually think George
very,
Kittle's
very
been a
good
better
players.
year.
They both
Yeah.
are very, very good wide receivers. And I didn't watch too many 49ers games. I watched a decent amount of Chiefs games because I'd watch on my phone to just see what's going on. But a lot of times you see Travis Kelce lined up wide. He's not always at that tight end position. He's lined up wide a lot. Maybe I'm wrong with this, but I don't see George Kittle lined up wide as much as you see Travis Kelce lined
But
up
when
wide.
he is utilized in that way, I think he is
Yeah.
more
And-
receiver-like and more effective. And I think he's going to
And
be
that's,
played like a receiver.
that's also based on the offense that they
Yes.
play.
And they're going to
because-
especially need to do that this year because
Yeah.
they messed up when it
When
comes
they
to
line him
receivers.
up wide, that means that they're going to get a corner on them instead of possibly a linebacker. Though that's the thing. And Travis Kelce has proved that he's able to beat many corners. I think Kittle is definitely a better route runner. I will give you that.
All right. Well, he gave us that he's a better route runner.
I don't know if but it's still just probably never.
This could
right?
be an endless debate that we
Yeah.
could continue to have.
But Travis Kelce's awareness on the field is pretty good.
Yeah, but both these
Saw that
players.
flip
Yeah.
when he had caught that ball.
Yeah.
I mean, like, did I get points for that? I don't. I think I might have got the yards that he got. Maybe.
That's besides the point.
Yeah,
But-
I'm just thinking out loud here.
Once again,
Like the song?
Yeah,
we are
that's
saying-
what I was thinking.
oh, that's a good song.
We were thinking
But
about it. That
These
Ed Sheeran.
these two
Yes.
players, as I've been trying to say for the best minute here, the best 2 tight ends in the league. I think that's unanimous at the
And
table.
Gronk is third, right?
No,
No.
Gronk.
I think you should do a whole video on Gronk because I think we have some high opinions on Gronk instead.
Not 95 overall high.
Okay. Anyways,
I mean, not like high as like, woo, he's gonna be so good. I like we have some fiery opinions.
Notable.
Notable.
okay.
Talk
Anyways,
Speak.
so
Kittle is better
say out loudable.
than Kelce.
so me and Ryan are not trying to hate on Travis Kelce. He's still a great tight end. Jordan's not trying to hate on George
Oh,
Kittle.
no.
We love the talent of both
They're
these
both
players.
my boys.
And yeah, I do
They're
like
my
both of them
brothers.
very much. So let us know what you guys think, because we are seeming to have an endless debate.
Yeah.
So you guys can join our debate in the comment section down below. We would love to see you guys typing stuff down there, letting us know what you guys think. Also, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell. Like I said, comment down below. Tell people about us as well, guys. If you like what you saw here, genuinely go and, like, I'm saying this genuinely to you, talking to you, like, we're trying to spread
You're
this.
talking to that person?
Yeah, I know him and her too.
Oh, yeah.
Her.
Okay, so I was about to say. Or it.
Yeah, but we would just love to grow this channel. It's so
Yes.
important to us. So I just wanted to take that moment, if you're still here, to tell you guys to do that. It would mean the world to us.
Mhm.
But anyways, thank you again for watching this video. And yeah, we'll see you guys later.
See ya.